Okay, I'm back here once again with a 1997 pay-per-view review from the WWF, and this time it is one night only. Now, a little bit of background on this pay-per-view. The WWE decided to do SummerSlam in England in 1992, and it was a massive success in terms of the pay-per-view itself, but apparently the buy rates fell off a little bit because people found out spoilers online and didn't really want to pay for a pay-per-view that had already happened. So they thought, we can't really do another pay-per-view again, but how about next time we go over to England to do like a house show, how about we film that, do that as a live pay-per-view, but just for the English audience. It might have been for a European audience as well, but it was exclusively for Sky Box Office, so you could only get it if you had a Sky Box Office, which is a subscription-based thing where, well, it's just box office really, it's pay-per-view. An event's happening, you dial up a number, say, listen, I want to get this, or you can probably do it online nowadays, but in those days it was ring up a number, say, these are my contact details, my card details, I want this, delivering to my house, when it's happening, I want it on my TV. So they thought, right, we'll do this, one night only in Birmingham, the NEC Arena in England, we'll do it, we'll have a pay-per-view for the English audience only, and it was, I don't know, I've heard people say that they took it as sort of a big deal, like, yeah, England, it's a pay-per-view for only English people. Me and my mates, when we were kids, we didn't give a fuck about these shows. We knew what they were. We knew they were just like, well, we didn't know they were house shows per se, but we knew they weren't televised stuff, and that when they come over, they don't really do big stuff. So they thought it's only important. It's a glorified house show basically. So we didn't care that much about them. I personally didn't order it. In fact, not only did I not order it, I have never seen the show up until today. It was 1997 then, it is now 2011 in December, so let's get into the card. The first match was Leif Cassidy, now known as Al Snow, taking on Tiger Ali Singh. Tiger Ali Singh was supposed to be the face in this match, I believe, because Leif Cassidy was a heel at the time, but he came down to the ring with his dad, who was a wrestler in Canada, Tiger Jeet Singh. I think Tiger Jeet Singh even wrestled in the deathmatch tournament that made Cactus Jack like worldwide renowned for being a crazy mental bastard. So anyway, they come down to the ring, Jeet Singh and Ali Singh, and Tiger Ali Singh gets on the microphone and he cuts a promo saying, first of all, he's in England, the first thing he says is, I'm a proud Indian Canadian. And if you're a face, why are you saying that? Why would you say that to an English audience? You're basically saying, I'm nothing like you, I'm proud of what I am and I'm not you. So he messed up straight away. So the crowd booed him, and then he said, I want, with your support, to help kids stay off drugs. And it just seemed random and forced and just, what? The sentiment's good, but what you want about? And then his dad said something in Punjabi that I didn't understand, but some of the crowd popped for it, so maybe there was some people who spoke Punjabi in the crowd, or maybe just people cheering, because, yeah, wrestling, good guy has just said something, yeah. So we had the match, the crowd were flat for it. Backstory on these two guys: Leif Cassidy was a heel at the time, jobber. Tiger Ali Singh was just being debuted. To be fair, he had the look. If he was booked a little better, maybe he could have got the personality out of him, but they didn't really want to go in that direction. If he was around nowadays, I believe he'd be one of the top guys, especially because he's Indian. You know, you could take away Great Khali, you could take away Jinder Mahal, because this guy's got a better look, although Jinder Mahal's got more charisma, and obviously Khali's got a better look. So the crowd for this one were flat. They didn't know who was who. They didn't know who was the good guy or who was the bad guy. They were just cheering random points in this match. Pretty lame match as well, in all honesty. Leif Cassidy, Al Snow, sold like a bitch, sold really well, but Tiger Ali Singh was lame and it showed. Yeah, Tiger Ali Singh got the win, and that's all I got to say about this. If I was going to rate it, I'd rate it very low, 1 star. You know, that's my rank bottom grade, 1 star, poor match. Then we went for Patriot versus Flash Funk. Now, as much as we didn't know who was the face and who was the heel in the last match, we had no idea in this match, but because it was in England and the Patriot's an American hero, I sort of took Flash Funk to be the good guy and Patriots to be the bad guy, but they both shook hands at the start of the match, which was strange, seeing as, well, it's just all fucked up really, in my opinion. Two faces going at it, no one really cared about it. Backstory, obviously the Patriots just coming off his Bret Hart deal, Flash Funk, jobber. Like, I don't really like using the word jobber, but he was a nobody at the time. He was good to watch, but, you know, he wasn't being used in many storylines. Patriot got the win. What can I say about this match? Nothing, because it was pretty flat. The crowd, again, not really that into it. Next up, this is where it started to pick up. Now, I don't know if this is the order that the show ran in, because I couldn't find this show anywhere, so I had to watch it, all the matches individually on YouTube. So next up I've got Triple H versus Dude Love. Now this was a better match. The crowd started really getting into this match. I thought they told a really good story throughout this match, and it was a good, fun match. Triple H ended up getting the win. Obviously you've got the backstory of these two guys with they had an awful match at King of the Ring between Triple H and Mankind, and then they go on in '99 and 2000 to have a really good set of matches between Triple H and Cactus Jack. That was fantastic stuff. But on this night, it was a nice little fun match. Triple H ended up getting the win, you know, no complaints there. Next up we got a tag team title match. The Headbangers beat the Los Boricuas. Again, the crowd were really into the Headbangers, and it was sort of a fun match, but to me personally, it was just a bit like thrown together. The Los Boricuas never really seemed that good. Miguel Perez, who was one of the Los Boricuas, with Savio Vega, that guy needed to shave. He was carpeted with hair. It looks disgusting to watch him. And like, when he's like in a rest hold with guys and he's like got him in a headlock, I thought to myself, how disgusting would that be to be this sweaty, hairy guy and your face is on his chest, and it'd just be horrible. Ugh. So yeah, Headbangers, they got the win over the Los Boricuas, keeping their tag team titles. Again, not much backstory, not much story progression in this. Just the case of throwing a match together for this English crowd. And again, because English audiences weren't used to, we're still not used to seeing wrestling. We only get it once in a while coming over here, so they can put on basic stuff, and we will chant and we will be excited, because to us these are massive celebrities. It's not as a big deal as it is for you Americans watching it, but for English people it is a massive deal. So we really do chant really loudly for them. So they put on a lot of basic matches like this, with it, like didn't really need to do much storyline progression stuff within this. Although some did come further down the card. LOD in the next match beat the Godwins. They have been going through a rivalry at this moment in time in WWE, as you can tell from our previous videos, but that wasn't touched on in this. The LOD ended up getting the win, and beforehand LOD cut a promo where Hawk didn't really make much sense. Then Animal said something along the lines of, "We're gonna come and beat you tonight," and you know, boring stuff. Well, not boring, but no, it dragged along. LOD got the win. I started to wane off a little bit during this, and you know. Anyway, LOD got the win. Next up we had a Vader vs Owen Hart, and what I thought was a good little match. Owen Hart showed his worth in this one, and I thought Owen Hart was going to go over, but Vader ended up getting the win in the end. Again, not much in terms of storyline progression or backstory, because these two guys hadn't really been feuding with each other. Bret Hart had just beaten Vader a couple of weeks ago on Raw, I believe, so it was sort of linked in, but again, it was just a house show. Next we had Bret Hart versus The Undertaker. Now this is some match where they did actually use a bit of storyline progression, and the Attitude Era started to come in. It started to show that the attitude of The Undertaker was starting to come out. He was no longer this goody-goody guy, like we saw the last pay-per-view, what was it, Ground Zero, where he started beating up referees. He did this at the end of this match. The match ended when Bret Hart gets his head caught in the ropes like the old Andre the Giant spot, but instead of his arms caught, his head was caught. But instead of Undertaker letting him out, he just starts beating on him. Referee calls for the bell. Bret Hart, who's the world champion at the time, wins by disqualification, and then Undertaker starts beating up the referees. Joe Briscoe comes in the ring, he gets a choke slam. All hell starts to break loose. So yeah, a little bit of storyline progression happened here, with Undertaker starting to show a bit more of that character, and a bit of that attitude era starting to come into play now. People show a bit more attitude, a bit more aggression. Next we had the main event, the British Bulldog versus Shawn Michaels. Now much like the only other WWF pay-per-view up to this time, SummerSlam 1992, this show was built around British Bulldog and him holding a secondary title, or him being in a title match which isn't the main title, but because he's that English star, they put him in the main event, and the fans were massively behind him, really behind him. And the fact was that this was a really good match. Shawn Michaels was really good, but one thing that disappoints me about this match, and disappointed me at the time, and still to this day disappoints me, is the ending and who won. Shawn Michaels got the win, and he beat the British Bulldog for the European title in England. seeing as this pay-per-view was built around the British Bulldog and the fact that he's coming home to wrestle in front of his home crowd, he should have won. The crowd was so behind him, and it did serve a little bit to push Shawn Michaels over as a heel, but apparently the WWF wanted Bulldog to win, but Shawn Michaels pulled his political strings to be like, no, fuck Bulldog, I'm going over him. It was going through his bitter feud with Bret Hart at the time, and he was sort of like, no, I'm not gonna do a favour for any of the Hart Foundation. I'm gonna beat the British Bulldog for his title, and I'm gonna shove it in Bret's face at Hart. Fuck you, I just fucked over your brother-in-law. And he did get the win. And another thing that was so upsetting about it was that British Bulldog's sister was in attendance, and apparently she had cancer at the time, and apparently she's no longer with us. And the fact that she just looked totally uncomfortable throughout this entire show. And to me, it looked like WWE had asked Bulldog to get her there so he could dedicate the match to her, but she just looked like she didn't want to be there whatsoever. Maybe Bulldog wanted her there anyway, and he was only convinced off his own accord to be there, but she looked totally disinterested. And if she did, I think she did have cancer at the time, and if she was going through that, no wonder she didn't care. This woman looked sick, she didn't look well, and she just looked lost. She didn't seem bothered by what was happening. And the fact that his sister is ill and she came to see this, and still Shawn Michaels pulled his little strings so he could beat the Bulldog in front of her. It's disgusting, isn't it? But that's the kind of guy Shawn Michaels was back then. Now is my time for me to end the video. Have you seen this show? What did you think of it? My overall thoughts personally was it was a fun little show. It served its purpose because in the old days, pay-per-view was just a way to make the attendance of a show go up, basically. Not in terms of actual attendance on the night, but in terms of people paying to watch the show. You can take a show which only 5,000 people can only see, or the NEC Arena in Birmingham would probably be like 16,000 or something like that, or maybe 12,000. But yeah, like say 15,000 were in there, so only 15,000 could watch it. They made a show that could hold 15,000 people and put it on pay-per-view, so that now infinity amount of people could watch it. Everyone in England could watch it. So they managed to sell a couple buy rates. I don't know what the buy rate number actually was. I don't really look too far into that when I do these videos, so I'm just reviewing the show itself. But the fact of the matter was the crowd really enjoyed it, especially the second half of the show. The Bulldog match, the Bret Hart match, the Owen Hart match, the Headbanger match, the Triple H match, and to a certain extent the LOD match they were really into. It was just the first two matches that was a bit meh for the crowd. But this show served its purpose. They brought wrestling to England, the crowd seemed to love it, but it's just the ending sent the crowd home unhappy, in my opinion. I bet the crowd went home like, oh, Shawn Michaels that bastard. Because the fact was, he won by a figure four leg lock, and Bulldog never gave up. He just sort of passed out, and the referee just rang the bell and gave the title to Triple H and, no, sorry, not Triple H, Shawn Michaels, but yeah, it just irks me a little bit that the fact that they came all the way over here to do a show for the English audience, to build it around the Bulldog, and the fact that they made Bulldog lose just really annoyed me. So what do you think of the show? Have you ever seen it? Have you not seen it? If you have seen it, what do you think of the show? If you've not seen it, are you going to check it out? Because you can watch it all in full on YouTube by going out and checking out the matches. Just type in, first match is Tiger Ali Singh. So if you type in Tiger Ali Singh, one night only, first match will come up. Tiger Ali Singh versus Lee Cassidy, and you can go from there, watching the rest of the matches. Watch it, let me know what you think. What did you think of my video? What did you think of my 1997 review series? Because to be honest, I'm not too sure about them. I like re-watching these shows, and I like to review some of these ones. This review was a bit boring for me to do because there wasn't that much to say, because there wasn't much of storyline progression, so there's nothing much to talk about. So, do you like this series or do you not like this series? Because that's important to me, because if no one's bothered about them, then I might stop doing them, or I might start making them shorter or whatever. Let me know what you think. I'll take it on to consideration. Also, very soon I will be doing my end of year awards. I did one. Sorry, I'm mumbling over my words here. I did one at the end of last year. If you've not seen it, go back and check it out. I'm going to be doing one at the end of this year. What awards sort of thing, like what would you like to see me talk about? Last year I had stuff like Heel of the Year, Face of the Year, Superstar of the Year, Show of the Year, Company of the Year, stuff like that. And I've got a little short list already, but there might be ones that I'm missing out. So yeah, let me know what awards you think I should be giving out at the end of the year, or what I should be talking about in my end of year review of pro wrestling. And thank you very much for watching. Click that subscribe button right there. Comment something down here, and press one of these like or dislike buttons down at the bottom of the screen. Thank you very much for watching. I will see you very, very soon with another video. Bye.